Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another 5 looks 1 palette video. This time we are doing it with the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. This palette has been out for I think probably a month now. I recently got my hands on it because I waited to get it at Sephora so I could use my employee discount, and Sephora launched it like the 16th or the 17th. So I've had it for a week, actually, exactly a week. And it's taken me this whole time to make this video. I just filmed the last look and I'm hoping to upload this tomorrow, Thursday or Friday the latest, because it does take me a little bit of time to edit these 5 looks 1 palette videos. I've been playing with this palette for a whole week now. As you can see here, I was making sure I've used every single color in here. The look that you're seeing right here, you're going to see me do it later on in the video, of course. And like I did last time, this is the only one that has lashes. The other ones I did while I was getting ready to go to work, and you can add lashes to any of these looks if you want to look a little bit extra glam. But for me to go to work, I don't need lashes. So most of the looks you'll see with no lashes on. This one I did put the Ardell Wispies on 4, which I just got a pack of them today. This video is not a review, it's just going to be a tutorial on 5 different looks that you can do with this palette. But I do want to say one thing: a lot of the shimmer shades right here at the top apply a lot better with your fingers than with a brush. Make sure if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss out on any of my 5 looks 1 palette videos or any of my makeup reviews coming up. Besides that, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. You guys know it helps me out a lot. And leave me any comments down below with any questions that you might have or just anything you want to tell me. I reply and read every single one of my comments and I would love to hear from you. Let's not make this intro any longer because this video is long enough already, and let's just go ahead and get started. Some of these shades can be a little bit powdery, so I would recommend doing your eyeshadow first and then doing your face makeup. I'm starting with the Morphe M504 and I'm putting the color Base all over my eyelid, so eyelid and all the way to right underneath the brow. And then I switched to the color Incense, which is a nice, very light brown that has a cool tone to it, and it works great as a transition color. I am doing windshield wiper motions with my fluffy brush and adding color as I go until I get to the desired intensity. So back and forth until it looks nice and smooth. I'm then grabbing my Sigma E25 brush and the color Love, which is a beautiful pale pink that has a matte finish, and I'm putting this one on the crease of my eye, but only in the front side of the crease, so from the center of the crease all the way to the inner corner. With that same brush, I grabbed the color Passion, which is like a burgundy, like deep shade, and I'm putting it on the outer V of my eye. As you can see, I am tapping and kind of distributing that shade to move it to where I want it, always concentrating it on the outer corner first, and then I am slowly starting to move it up all the way to the crease and making it meet the shade Love in the center. I then grabbed the color Wild Child with my number 15 brush and started patting it all over the eyelid, or 2/3 of the eyelid, until it meets the outer corner color. It was not going on nicely, so I put a little bit of setting spray on it to make it more smooth and a little bit more vibrant, which kind of backfired because, as you can see, it looks very patchy in the center. I later on learned that it was much better to do it with my fingers and fix that for the next looks, but this is just the way it came out for this one. I just patted it until it was finally smooth. I grabbed my Sigma E38 brush and started blending out the colors in the crease to make sure that they all met each other nice and smoothly. And then with my number 18 Sephora Collection brush and the color Dreamer, I did my inner corner color. I then mixed Dreamer and Base together, and with my Sigma E55 brush, I put those colors right underneath my brow. I applied the color Passion right underneath my lower lashes to make this eye look nice and smoky. As you can see, I'm just blending it back and forth with this very tiny blending brush. And then with the same brush and the color Love, I put it right underneath Passion, and that way it made it a little bit softer looking.
And here's the final look. I love how flirty and soft this one is, but it still has a nice amount of depth to it. It looks really nice. I wish I had added lashes to all the looks. Just imagine them. I was in a rush to go to work. Let's do look number 2. So for this look, I once again started with my Morphe M504 brush, and the color Love I started putting all over the crease of my eye, from the outer corner of the eye on the crease all the way in. And then with my E25 brush from Sigma, I started using the color Soul and patting it on the outer corner of my eyes and into the crease ever so slightly to mix with the color Love. I also did this in the inner corner of the eye and connected it at the top because I wanted to create a halo effect for this look. So as you can see, I'm patting the brush little by little, adding more product as I go, and I just pat it and drag it, and that way it blends out very nicely. For the center color, I started with the color Rose Gold and very quickly realized that that was a mistake because it was a bit too dark for this look. So I tried to fix it by adding the color Dreamer on top of it and lightening it up a little bit more. And it worked, but like to a certain extent. Here you just see me blending the shades around it, making sure that it looks nice and smooth. But what I did to fix the issue was I went back and with the Sigma E38 brush and the color Passion, I darkened the color between the center color and the color Soul a little bit more. I kind of like sandwiched this color in the middle, and that way it made it for a smoother transition. It also darkened up the look a little bit, which I appreciated. I did like the effect that it gave it. So here I'm just going back and patting the colors on the eye once again, making sure that they look nice and pigmented. So again, I'm just adding the color Rose Gold and Dreamer back and forth, and then intensifying the outer corner of the eye, kind of that outer V, and the first like third of the eyelid very close to the inner corner. And then make sure you go back with your blending brushes and make sure that there is nothing smudging and that there isn't anything giving you a super harsh transition or any lines on your crease. And after I did my face makeup, I came back with my Morphe M506 brush and the color Love once again, and I started smudging this one under my lower lash line, a little bit like diffused, so not super close to the lash line, like right like on my eye bag, if you know what I mean. So as you can see, I'm just adding more as I go, building up that shade, and always remember to tie it to the upper side of the eye, so make it meet on the outer corner. I then went back with my M432 brush, also from Morphe, and the color Soul, and I put this one right underneath my lashes, very close. This is going to deepen up that Love shade, and it's going to give you that cotton candy effect again. So just make sure you smudge it very close to your lower lashes, and then if you need to, go back with the fluffier brush and make sure that these colors are blending into one another. As you can see, I'm doing that right here. And then the last step in this look is simply to do your inner corner highlighter. I use the color Dreamer, and I'm applying it with my number 18 Sephora collection brush. I go a little bit up on the inner corner so that it mixes with the color Soul, and this is the final look right here. I think this one is one of my top 2 favorite looks that I did out of the 5. So let's move on to look number 3, and I started with my big fluffy Morphe brush and the color Base all over the eyelid, from lashes to brow, from inner to outer corner, making sure nothing sticks to my eyeshadow primer basically. And then with the color Incense, I'm going to start building the crease of my eye little by little. You guys know I like to go slow, and that way I am making sure every step of the way that things look blended, as opposed to things looking a little bit too harsh and having to go back and struggle. I just like to blend it as I go, and that way I'm not stressed. So then after that, I am grabbing the color Volatile and a smaller brush. This one here is the Sigma E40, and I'm going again adding little by little, intensifying the crease, doing windshield wiper motions back and forth. So I wanted to make this look very nice and sultry, and so I added the color Drama all over my eyelid. I used my Sephora collection number 15 brush. This is just like a flat brush, and I love to use it to pack on products. So as you can see, I'm just adding that product little by little all over the eyelid space of your eye. And I'm not putting it in the crease because I'm going to get now my Sigma E38 brush, and I'm going to just do windshield wiper motions around the eyelid so that some of the color drama blends out into the crease a little more and intensifies the crease of the eye, and it just becomes a very nice smooth transition between the color drama and the colors that we had put all over the crease before. As you can see here, it just takes a little bit of going back and forth and getting it as nice and smooth as you want it to look. It takes a little bit of patience and a lot of blending, but you can get there. I believe in you. To make this look a little bit more interesting, I added the color Dazzling all over my eyelid. As you can see, I'm just very simply patting it with the tip of my finger, and that just made it a little bit extra sparkly, and I really love the change. I went back to my Morphe M506 brush and the color Incense and started blending it right underneath my eye after I did my face makeup. And so this is going to again mimic what we did at the top, and then we're going to intensify it with the color Volatile. Of course, I'm just using the tip of my number 15 brush. This is a good tip for you guys. You don't have to have every brush that's out there in the market. You can use your brushes that you already have in different ways. Figure out what the different parts of your brush can do for you and try to use them in different ways. Here, I'm just putting a little bit of translucent powder right underneath the outer part of the eye there because I thought it looked a little bit too messy and I wanted to clean it up. For the inner corner, I once again use my number 18 brush and the color Dreamer. And as you can see here, I took the little bakage off, and this is the final look. I think this is also in my top 2 favorite looks, so I think numbers 2 and 3 are my favorite for sure. So let's move on to look number 4, and I'm using my big fluffy brush from Morphe once again to put the color base all over the eyelid. Just dab it till nothing is sticky, and it just makes your eyelid one solid color. I'm then grabbing my E23 brush from Morphe, which is like a nice dense fluffy brush, and the color Incense, and I'm once again building this color on the crease of my eye. I'm going back and forth and I'm doing my windshield wiper motions, just making sure everything looks nice and even. This one's very similar, or it starts very similar to the last look. And I say this because I am then once again grabbing the E25 brush from Sigma, and I'm grabbing the color Volatile and building it on the outer corner of the eye and into the crease. So as you can see, I am dabbing and then just making it blend in a little bit, only on the outer corner this time, making sure that that outer V of the eye looks very nice and smoky. I then went back to my bigger, fluffier brush to make sure that everything looked smooth on the crease of the eye. And with my number 15 brush from Sephora collection, I grabbed the color Summer, which is a beautiful like gold foil, and I'm putting it all over my eyelid, or I should say 2/3 of the eyelid in. So from the beginning of the eye, close to the inner corner, all the way to 2/3 of the eye in, and at the end there, I am making sure that it blends out into those darker, smokier colors that we placed on the outer V of the eye. I then grabbed my blending brush again and made sure that everything looked nice and smooth on the outer corner. And then with the color Eccentric, I went ahead and packed that one right in between the shimmery gold and the deep shade at the end of the eye to make it go into a smoother transition that it already had. I grabbed my Sigma E38 one more time with the color Volatile, and I darkened up the crease of the eye a little bit so that it would look a little bit more sultry and smoke out the crease and the end of the eye a little bit more. I wanted to add a little bit of color to this look, so I grabbed my Sephora collection number 18 brush and the color Celestial, which is a really pretty shimmery purple, and I tucked this one right underneath my lower lash line. I grabbed my Morphe brush and used the color Soul to smoke that one out a little bit. I thought it wasn't as like diffused as I wanted it to look, so I went back with the color Love and made it a little bit lighter so that it still had that nice like cotton candy color underneath the eye, but it wasn't as intense as the color Soul by itself. I made sure the colors blended in the outer corner and used a Makeup Forever waterline eyeliner. The color Dreamer I put once again in the inner corner of the eye with the number 18 brush by Sephora Collection. And this is the final look. So here is look number 4. I think that waterline color made a really nice difference. I really like the pop of color in the waterline of my eye. Last but not least, we got to look number 5. And look number 5 starts with base all over the eyelid one more time. It starts with me not being in the frame, but it'll get better, I promise. So after the base color, I used the same big fluffy brush from Morphe to add incense all over the crease of my eye. So you see me adding a little bit at a time, making sure it looks nice and making sure that it builds onto itself with no streaks. Nice and smooth. We're going to blend in little windshield wiper motions. So now one more time we're going to start creating a halo effect. So I have my Sigma E25 brush and I am dabbing on the outer corner of my eye and ever so slightly start dragging the color Passion into the crease. So we're going to do outer corner, we're going to do the same thing in the inner corner, and we're going to make these colors one more time just meet in the middle. And you're going to see me go back and forth and add a little bit extra at a time. Here I'm going back with the same color one more time, doing a second layer, making sure that it's going to get to the intensity that I want. Sometimes we add the color, it looks very dark at first, and when we start blending, we blend away a lot of that pigment. So we're going to make sure that we're going to add back pigment wherever we need to until we get it to look nice and dark, or as dark as you want it to look basically. For the center of the eyelid, I'm just grabbing my finger and grabbing the color Wild Child and just tapping it in place. And look at how nice it looks. Do you guys remember look number 1 where I applied it with a brush and it looked really bad? So with your finger, it does the trick. I'm going back with my blending brush, making sure to soften those edges so that there's no harsh lines. We don't want any harsh lines in our look, so you have to go back and blend the edges. Of course, blend at the top as well. And if in the blending process you thought you missed a little bit of the color, you go back and pack it on one more time and repeat as needed basically. I'm grabbing the color Dreamer and my little number 18 brush now, and I am putting this one as a highlight color right underneath my brow bone. To add a little bit of dimension to this look, I went back with the color Soul and my Morphe M506 brush. I swear this brush is a lifesaver. And I added the color Soul to all over the crease of the eye, just so that it would have a little bit more dimension. It looks a little bit more interesting. So you can see me here. I added it also a little bit to the outer and the inner corner of the eye. After doing my face makeup, I came back, same color, same brush, and I smoked out underneath my lower lash line, making it meet at the end so that it connects to the upper side of your eye, of course. And then I grabbed the Sephora Collection number 18 brush in the color Celestial, which is the very pretty, like shimmery purple, and I put it right underneath my lower lash line, like very tucked in, very close to my lower lashes. Same brush and the color Dreamer, I added a very nice popping highlight to the inner corner, blended it up a little bit more, and then I grabbed a skin-like color and added it to the waterline of my eye. For this one, I did do the lashes, so as you can see here, it's a little bit more extra. I actually really like this look too. I don't know if I like it more than the ones that I selected earlier though. Alright, let me know which look is your favorite in the comments down below.
Alright guys, I really hope that you guys enjoyed those 5 looks. I had a lot of fun creating them and making them. This palette is definitely worth having if you are into purpley taupey shades. Obviously, if you are all warm everything, then you can skip it. It is great formulation on the shadows, both the matte and the shimmery ones. I absolutely loved playing with it every single day this week. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos coming up, make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below. If you want to see any of these looks in details, make sure you follow me on my Instagram. I'm going to be posting pictures of them over there. My handles for Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter are all at Patty C. Alonso, the way it's spelled right here. And I hope you guys come back for my next video. Bye!